Good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are we? If you haven't got a seat yet, come grab a seat. Sort your water out first, make sure you're hydrated. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Huckletree. More importantly, welcome to the pitch final. That was good. I was expecting to have to do that twice then, but you did it first time. This is good. Panto is go. Welcome. I'm your host for this evening. My name is Ash Phillips. I sometimes do this, but I'm also a founder too, so I know what most of you are going through. A long slaving founder, just like most of you, I'm sure. I run an organization that supports founders and entrepreneurs, and I'm a mentor, and I advise them, and I've been doing it for over 10 years now. And sometimes I get up on stage to introduce things like this. Chris has been a great supporter of the things I do and vice versa, and I was also once on the pitch, which I had to be reminded of earlier because I think it was a blur, which I'm sure it will be for most of you tonight. We'll get to that later. Ultimately, I'm a cheerleader for you guys. If you are pitching, this is very nerve-wracking. I do this often, and I'm still scared right now. So if I stumble over my words, it's just that. And if you do, it's just that too. No one minds. It's okay. We're all human. We're here for you. But let's talk a little bit more about the pitch. So what is the pitch? The pitch is an amazing competition that, as you know, gives you opportunities to talk about your business to others, get mentored and coaching and win prizes from incredible judges that we're going to have and hear from shortly. They've toured the UK looking for the absolute best founders. So if you are here, it's because you've been part of that process and potentially even been shortlisted to be up here alongside one another. So congratulations. Actually, a big round of applause for everybody that has made it here. The pitch is a program that supports founders. It offers coaching, offers grants, and offers all sorts of opportunities, including introductions to investors. So if you're raising, send Chris 4, 5, 6, 7 emails, and he will slave away for you. He's a free member of staff. I think that's what you described it as. You said you didn't sleep much last night, so I'm just giving you work to do while you're awake. That's how we do things. But it's not just Chris, it's also the rest of the team who you'll get to meet as well. Thank you all for putting it on. The winner won't just get access to all those things I just mentioned, but they'll also win an incredible glass trophy that we'll see at the end. Nice. And I'm so nervous about taking that glass trophy. Don't drop it. It'll make a really loud, awkward noise. The event tonight is being streamed. Camera here, camera there. So if you guys in the middle need to get up for some water or a wee, just make sure you kind of crab walk to the side. We don't want to have any backs of heads on the internet. Thank you, everyone, for being here. The event doesn't happen without partners, and I'll leave that to our friends to talk about mostly tonight. Doesn't happen without the judges, doesn't happen without you. And ultimately, as I said, just kind of to wrap this up, it is a nerve-wracking process pitching. Some of you will maybe kind of be overthinking it right now, but ultimately most people are sat there thinking about what they're going to have for dinner, probably. So don't worry about it too much. It's okay. And if you need a hand, I'm here. We'll have a little hug. It's fine. So that's from me. I'm going to be introducing everybody independently, but before that, we get to hear from some incredibly experienced people who have built some awesome businesses who are our judges tonight. I'll let them introduce themselves, and I'll let Holly introduce them, and introduce herself too. God, I'm lazy. Welcoming to the stage from the pitch, Holly.
Thank you very much. Left the middle seat for you. Amazing. Everyone's comfortable. Fabulous.
Yeah, all good.
So, hello and welcome everyone to the Pitch 2024 Grand Final. I'm Holly, I'm one of the event organisers. We've spent the last month trekking across the UK to find some of the best startups in the UK. And it's been amazing, and I can't wait to present them all to you tonight. But before we get started, I have got a couple of questions for our fantastic judges, just to help us get to know them a little bit better. And I will open it up to the audience at the end, so if you do have any burning questions for our judges, have a think now, and you can ask them at the end of the session. So just to get us started, if you could all please introduce yourself and what it is that you guys do.
Shall I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi everyone, this is Tugce Bulut. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started 3 AI businesses, sold the first one, working on the other 2. I raised over $100 million for these 3 businesses over time. So if any questions about fundraising or scaling a B2B business, very happy to help.
Hey everyone, I'm Johnny Paterson. I'm the co-founder of Dr.PAWPAW. We're actually 9 years old, and we've actually just taken our first round of investment 12 months ago, so I understand what a lot of you are going through. It's been really amazing experience for us, and I'm really looking forward to hearing all your pitches this evening.
Hi there, my name is Rachel Elnaugh Love. My first business was Red Letter Days, the Experiences brand, which I started way back in 1989. Built it into a multi-million turnover market-leading brand, which got me onto Dragon's Den. So I was on the first 2 series of Dragon's Den as a dragon way back in 2005, so nearly 20 years ago. So I'm probably the most the senior one here. I'm mainly a business mentor now and an author and a business speaker.
Oh, sorry.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Have a little jig around.
Yeah.
So what
Just
is
a little
the
bit
most,
close.
Yeah. What is the most important thing that you're looking to hear in a pitch tonight?
I thought about this. I think lots of energy and enthusiasm. I think when you're starting up any business, I know that sounds really simple and basic, but you really do need that energy, enthusiasm to get that business off the ground. Of course, you need a great idea, and I mean, that's probably sometimes the hardest thing to come up with, but having the energy, enthusiasm to get going, and then when it starts to get tough, to pick yourself up and go again, I think that's what I'm really looking forward to see. So a great idea and lots of enthusiasm. Which ladies next? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say I agree with Johnny. It's not so much what I'm looking for, it's that feeling of passion, authenticity, not faking it, doing stuff from the heart, because business ideas really are kind of a million a penny, really. But it's actually the tenacity and the energy and the focus and determination of the individual that makes the difference every time. So, and that kind of can't be faked.
I think you covered the most important thing, because things get really, really hard and you're going to have a lot of reasons to give up. So what's going to keep you going, right? At that point is really your passion. Couldn't agree more. One more thing maybe to add is unfair advantage. Why it should be you who wins that particular race? Is it your background? You have a particular insight to the problem? Maybe you have a very controversial idea, actually no one agrees with, right? So you have to have that element of unfair advantage to win.
Amazing, thank you. Really helpful points, and hopefully you guys are taking some notes there. I'd love to hear a little bit more about some of the biggest challenges that you perhaps faced when you were first starting your businesses.
Yes, this is fun.
Yeah, so I think it's actually written on a poster on the window there, which is actually getting people to speak to you. And I remember, like, no one would take my calls. And people they'd say, oh, I'll just go and get someone to speak to you. And they'd sort of leave the phone until you gave up. And it was really soul-destroying. And you're absolutely right, T, that, you do get those very quickly to that point of giving up and desolation. So I think it is having that motivation to keep going even when you hit rock bottom. And that is being a marathon runner, not a fire. A lot of people got firework energy, big enthusiasm that quickly tails off. But what you really want to be is persistence, determination, trialing, testing, and changing, adapting until you break through. And actually quite often, the idea you start with isn't the one that you actually have the success with. You need to be flexible.
Yeah. Running out of cash. That was the hardest thing for me. So slightly different to Rachel. We were inundated with appointments from beauty buyers. So sorry, it makes me sound a bit big-headed, but we were actually quite lucky. the thing that I didn't have enough of was cash to buy the product. And so when I would go and see the bank with my idea in this business plan, there was just no support there. So I think finding somebody who will support you in those early days, and I mean, for me, it was friends and family that gave me the cash to get going, which I have paid them all back. Then finding a bank that will support you, and I left HSBC to go to Metro Bank, and I'm now back with HSBC with the deal that I want. So yeah, finding cash.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing setup. We have different challenges. So we were actually doing an AI business. So the money was pouring in. We had huge investors, and we always had people competing to get into our rounds. Our biggest problem was people. It was very hard to build and scale the team. My co-founder is in the crowd today, actually joining me, and he basically oversaw all the team growth. And as a founder, you are impatient. You have unreasonable expectations. People are not going to like you a lot of the times. And how do you still create loyalty around you? And at some point, it no longer is about you. Once you pass 20, 30 people, we build the team together with all 80 to 250 people. And it's no longer about you, right? It's about who you can hire, who you can attract to the company. And that was quite a transformation required in our skill sets and our approach to business to be able to achieve that.
Perfect, thank you guys. It's always really useful to, I think, everyone to know that running a business just seriously isn't easy. Doesn't matter who you are going to face those challenges.
Correct.
What is it that really will get you excited about a startup?
I think there are two answers to that question. When I do a lot of angel investing, and I look for deep technology, really differentiated deep technology, not a simple wrapper on a large language model, etc. But I think it's so important also to see that passion to solve a problem in someone's eyes, right? And today, that will be the major thing I'm looking for. You started with that passion, that's enthusiasm, and belief that you are just not going to give up until that problem is solved, because it matters so much to you. That's the key thing, I think, that gets us very excited.
You go next. Just move around.
Yeah, so I think having the confidence to dare to be different, because so many people, when you're going into business, you try and look at what everyone else has done, and having that confidence to go 180 degrees in the opposite direction of what's already been done and be really unique, because what you're really looking for is like that instant wow factor, because most people, like, you've got seconds just to grab people's attention. So it's that innovative, daring to be different, which makes people stand out from the crowd.
I'm going to speak about my founder and investment journey, because I think the thing that won me the investment recently was because my investor said it's founder-led businesses. They want to see that energy and know that the founder is right behind the business. They're going to drive it, and they want to know that you've got the energy, we just talked about this, to stay on and not walk away. And I think, make sure that you've got the energy to do this. You might have a great idea, and I know I said it in the first point, but I think determination, enthusiasm to see this through is really, really important. It will actually win you more points than the idea, I think.
Amazing, absolutely. Do you want to go?
No, all good.
Sorry. So this is sort of my last question now as well. So if you have got any questions yourself, or maybe you're thinking of some, it'll come straight after this. So we've seen startups emerge in areas like sustainability and well-being recently. What sort of trends are you expecting or perhaps hoping for in the future years?
I can cover this. So we are a beauty business that really focuses on sustainability, with the product that we create, etc. And we sell it to many retailers in the UK and around the world. So it's a real challenge for a business like ours when we sell somewhere in the region of 20 million products a year. So we have to do so much to, ensure that we are, sticking to those sustainable promises that we make. But one of the things that we are seeing more of a trend is that instant gratification that our customers are looking for. Now, this is obviously applying to me in the beauty business, but I think that's actually in most businesses now. The generation that is coming through, are not going to listen to 30, 60 and 90 days before they want to see a result. They're asking us in 30, 60 and 90 seconds. Then they want to know that you're doing something good for the planet. And then they want to know that the product really works. So, big challenge out there for you all. But, that's what we see as the next trend. And it is our team. We're always saying, will we give our customer like that instant result now? They're going to see and feel a change. And I think that will apply to other industries too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess because I've kind of been on a bit of a spiritual journey through that whole entrepreneurial roller coaster ride, I'm always looking for businesses and people that are wanting to truly be in service to the planet, in service to humanity, really doing something that is nourishing and for the good of all, as opposed to just making money or my heart sinks if I'm asked to mentor a business which is just making plastic widgets or something like that, because it's, the world's got so much stuff. It's the businesses that can make a real difference to people and be in service. Yeah.
And maybe in a slightly different angle, I think we have the tools to do that now, right? What we have seen since ChatGPT came out is that we always had to speak the language of computers with coding. That's what a coding language is. Or even if you go to a website or an app, you had to learn how to use the UX because that's the only way a computer understood you. Now computers speak our language. It's the natural language, right? So we are going to see in the next 5-10 years immense transformation in any experience any company, any brand has with their consumers, with their customers, with chat. So we are super excited to see that transformation, how the websites, apps are disappearing, and the major interface is becoming chat. So that's very exciting.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much. That is actually the end of my questions. So thank you very much for your answers there. I will now open it up to the audience, and hands are shooting up. Yours was the speediest, so do you want to go first?
So my question is particularly to do with scaling. And obviously when you begin to scale, you start to pick out people who are passionate like you about your vision and your dream who can implement it. What do you do when there's like a line that's drawn, where people become too passionate and then there's too many people, like, too many chefs spoil the broth and you've got too many ideas going on? And, like, how do you manage, I guess, problems within the team when you're beginning to scale? Is my question.
Who's that to?
Anyone.
Oh, everyone.
I can give a very quick answer and we can take it from there. It depends on the stage. I would say up until Series A, founder still pretty much dictates what's happening. Once we passed on from 100 people forward, and once you start actually hiring real visionary leaders, then you have to make space for them, right? And they can start building. The way I found to still be able to monitor and make sure it's going in the right direction is having data on everything and having your KPIs right, but then give loads of space to people to build their own dreams on what you first started.
Yeah. We're employing 35 people at the moment, so nowhere near that scale. But at this scale, for us, company culture is everything. So because it's so small, it feels like we're all best friends. And actually, we're probably more family than the family that they actually spend time with at home because they spend more time with me. So when they're joining us, we're always very clear on company culture documents. So they see, what the company stands for, what we're about. There's regular team events, meetings. All this stuff is quite, simple, but it actually makes a difference. And it's those companies that actually do it versus those who don't, because so many companies go, yeah, we do team days out, but they miss it every month. They miss it every 6 months, whereas we focus on it. Just another little thing to mention about our business is that as soon as we started the business, we wanted it to have a purpose, and we actually give a percentage of our sales away to charity every single year, and we've done that since start. So we wanted it to be that if a consumer is buying our product, they can know that they look good, they feel good, but know that they're doing good. And that actually really helps our company culture, because everybody feels like we've got a purpose and that we're going somewhere, and that when they are maybe on their deathbeds, they can look back and say, I worked for a company where I actually made a difference. I mean, 3 weeks ago, we did a 100-kilometer walk challenge, and there was 20 of us doing it. Toughest thing I've ever done in my life, but nothing breeds better company culture like that. Okay.
Yeah, so tuning into specifically what you said there, this is the challenge if you've got too many ideas, people, but not enough implementers. And people can get lost in that, oh, I've got an idea, but what you really want to do is discipline that into focused action to completion. So it's, so from creativity through to completion, and it's better to have less projects and be really rigorous than chase too many hares, so to speak. So be really disciplined and not allow that kind of people to be distracted. Oh, let's do this. Really be disciplined. Okay, we're going to just run with 3 things, and we're going to take them from idea to completion before we start on another thing. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you. It was a really good question, thank you. Just going to squeeze one more question in before we head straight to the pitch-in. Again, hands straight up.
This is mainly for Rachel, but I want to hear what all of you think on it. But I'm very curious about that spiritual journey you talked about going through, because you talked a lot about authenticity and all of that stuff, and a lot of people really talk about business like it's a really like dog eat dog, like scarcity, like everyone's fighting for this one piece of the pie, but it seems like the way you approach it is like everyone can kind of benefit each other. Like doesn't seem to be just about you, it's like mutual benefit, like you kind of see that. So I just want to know what got you to that, because not a lot of people get there, and I really admired that when you said it.
Yeah, so the thing I realise now looking back is that Dragon's Den, obviously the BBC, what they were doing was creating an archetype. They were creating an archetypal business person, and it's not true. Actually, what was depicted on Dragon's Den is not true, because 95% was left on the cutting room floor. All of the nice bits, all of the friendly, supportive, mentoring bits left in favour of the bitchy kind of outtake. So what we've created a bit of a Frankenstein's monster, because actually business isn't like that. It's very, very supportive. But on an individual level, I mean, one of the biggest, at the time it was a nightmare, but when I lost Red Letter Days into administration, even though we had 3.3 million cash at bank, which was, I mean, it was a very, it was cataclysmic in my life personally and professionally.
What does into administration mean?
Into administration, basically into liquidation. Yeah.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah. Yeah, into suspended animation. The business kept on, but basically I lost it. And but it was very cathartic, and it actually set me on having to let go of that business set me on a spiritual journey, because I started becoming a mentor, and I started to get interested in energy and what makes people successful. But the big breakthrough thing, if I can just mention quickly, the biggest breakthrough single spiritual thing that happened to me was going to Peru, working with the shamans and doing plant medicine, ayahuasca. Because boom, you're tapping into infinite intelligence and that is wow. So, and so many people, like especially everyone in Hollywood, and you see it in all the movies and all the creativity and all fashion brands. When people start working with those master plant teachers and infinite intelligence, you're suddenly working with the energy that creates universes, and boom, that's very exciting.
Amazing. Thank you.
I'm not sure I can add anything to that. That was.
I think we are done.
We do. I was going to say we do monthly massages in the company. Yeah, it's okay.
That seems like quite a good place to probably end things. So before I pass you over to the pitching, if people do want to get in touch with you after the event tonight, what is the best way for them to do that?
Either LinkedIn or Twitter is fine.
LinkedIn, I live on there, it's brilliant.
So I'm on Telegram, free speech channel, no censorship. Rachel Speaks Out is my main channel.
Very good.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. I will pass you over to the pitching now, but can I just get a huge round of applause for our judges?
Thank you so much. Amazing insights. Thank you all for sharing. I'm about to book a flight to Peru. Sounds great. One of the best things about the pitch is the community, camaraderie, right? You're all here. It's not just about the people on stage, it's about all of us together. Running a business is really bloody hard, isn't it? Everybody knows that, and I'm sure you all know that too. So wouldn't it be nice if we all just got a huge amount of motivation and camaraderie from everybody else? That's what I'd like from you. So I'm going to apologise in advance because you are going to go home with hands that hurt by the end of tonight. But have you ever been to one of those events where they tell you to clap and then like someone does and someone doesn't and it's really awkward? So I'm going to solve that before it happens. When someone comes up on stage, huge round of applause, biggest round of applause, the sort of applause you would want. When they finish pitching, just before they go into the Q&A, mini round of applause, just to end it. It's nice, otherwise it's like, cool, any questions? And then it's quiet. So a little round of applause then, and then another massive round of applause as they leave the stage. Agreed? Good, okay, great. Time management for y'all over here. It's important we stick on time. We need to make sure everybody goes home. There's some nice food over there they want to eat. So when you've got 10 seconds left of your Q&A, Holly will wave at you and make sure that you're wrapping up. As you come to the end of your pitch, I'll start to eke in, and if you see me, you know you should start slowing down. And if you go too long, it's been a while since I played football, but I do fancy slide tackling someone, so watch yourselves, basically. And that's it. So let's go, shall we? Are you ready? Let's welcome on our first pitcher of the evening, Period Harmony.
Hi, my name is Raminda. I'm the CEO and founder of Period Harmony, and we want to revolutionize the way women experience periods. When I was dealing with my own period pain, I was tired of the lack of solutions out there. Hot water bottles and TENS machines were inconvenient, painkillers had harsh side effects, and relief balms didn't even last an hour. It's estimated that 22 million women actively chose non-prescription forms of pain relief last year compared to the 1.5 million that did, showing the demand for alternative therapies. So, alongside a doctor, we set out to create something better, introducing the Period Harmony patch, a 4-way stretch patch with a slow-release matrix that provides up to 12 hours of relief. The patch is already available in the market, in multiple markets, in retailers like Waitrose, and we are set to launch in the biggest pharmacy chain in the UK, Boots. We're also the only patch company available that is collaborating with the NHS. The team behind Period Harmony is myself and a doctor specialising in pain medicine and anaesthesia. My background's in advertising. I've had many, many years of experience working in the ad industry. I've won over 30 different awards. And then in terms of our traction, within 18 months, we gained 1.3 million organic followers without any form of paid advertising. We started collaborating with the NHS and secured 500 shelf space in 500 Boots stores across the UK. And in terms of what we're asking for, we're now looking to raise our first investment round to build on our organic growth, launch our full product line, and become the market leader in women's health. Thank you.
Questions?
Yeah, can I start?
Yeah, I've got one.
Amazing idea, so exciting, and congratulations on the traction. I mean, it's crazy you got there without any funding so far. How much is the product?
It's $7.99 and there's 5 patches per pack.
Amazing. And did you get a chance to do any clinical studies to be able to show the results?
So we have got rigorous safety testing on the patches. We are in the process of doing clinical studies. However, we've also had some really great feedback from clinicians that work in NHS sexual health clinics. And so we're planning to work with them to also create a clinical study as well. They're using it on a very common procedure, which involves the copper IUD coil, so that they give the patch to help alleviate the symptoms of that. So that's really exciting for us as well. So yeah.
It sounds like you're at the early stages, so you're doing pipe fill at the moment into boots, etc.
Yeah.
How are you going to get the sell out? Because the pipe fill is the most exciting thing, getting those big orders from those retailers, but selling the stock through is the crucial thing. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So first of all, TikTok Shop has been really great in terms of affiliate marketing. We've built a massive community of affiliate marketers, not just women who experience medium amount of pain, but also those that have endometriosis. And because of that, there's so many influencers that have promoted our product for free in exchange for a product. So we will be working with them to help talk about our Boots launch, and then obviously we have our organic following of 1.3 million followers to yell about it. So yeah.
Could you just tell me what's the active ingredients in it? What is the...
So it's a completely natural patch. It contains 3 ingredients: menthol, eucalyptus, and boswellia. And boswellia has been used previously for help with arthritis cramping. So we found that actually really works for menstrual pain.
And how much is that Boots contract worth, or how much have you sold through it? Did you have a pre-order, or?
So we've literally just signed up with them as a vendor. We were supposed to launch at the end of this year, but they've got an internal change. So we're launching with them next year.
Okay, any idea how much that's worth, though, is what I'm asking.
So we're still in conversations with the exact number of orders per store. We just know we will be in 500 stores.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. Great, thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Good clapping. We're good. You're doing your job. This is great. Okay, I'm not going to riff much longer. Let's bring on the next one, shall we? The next pitch is Gilley.
1 billion umbrellas go to the landfill annually, and here's why. I moved to London for a graduate degree, and as you might imagine, I was regularly sopping wet and uncomfortable because I couldn't find an umbrella I liked. They break, you lose them. And a wet umbrella is hard to put or carry anywhere, so you don't bring one when you leave the house, then end up buying one for 10 to 15 pounds from the corner shop, and that cycle goes on and on. But why do we expect so little of umbrellas? At Gilley, we're redesigning the umbrella in this $8.1 billion market by creating one that works better than others and won't end up in a landfill, similar to the reusable water bottle boom of the last decade. We launched on Kickstarter late last year and finished in the top 1.8% of campaigns globally, and have sold all of our version 1 stock to 1,900 customers, including a major retailer, for £120,000 in sales. Gilley version 2 is arriving next month. It's based on customer feedback from version 1. It's much slimmer, easier to use, and made of more environmentally friendly materials. So due to its watertight case, it's a design-led object that you don't have to leave at the front of the shop, and you won't want to. I've been working on this full-time for 3 years with a co-founder, a product development firm, and distribution channel experts, and I know that we have the outsider perspective to become an international category leader. We're raising £500,000 and have £100,000 of SEIS left in order to bring version 2 to market. Thank you.
Can I go first? I love the idea. I think it looks fantastic. Thing is, there is many umbrellas on the market, and I mean, if I just think next to my local boot shop that fixes my shoes, he's got an umbrella there. How are you going to persuade people to not buy a cheap umbrella that's anywhere to buy yours?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we combine the functionality of it with the design. And the fact that there are very little brands, it's kind of a brandless space. I mean, most people can't name a brand. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Most other brands, I mean, don't have a watertight case, and they don't have one that doubles as an optional handle. And so I think that functionality and the convenience where you can put it in your bag and it's conveniently on you and you're not leaving it at the front of the restaurant or somewhere else is a differentiator that people would be willing to pay for. And I think our customers have been incorporating it into their day-to-day so far.
How much does it retail at?
We sold version 1 for 38. This much improved one will be for 49.
£49?
Yes.
How much does it cost to manufacture?
£12.
Okay.
Is there branding on the product?
Yes, there is. So we have our brand name right here.
Yeah.
Gilley.
Yeah. Great.
I'm curious why it's just boring black.
I think. Yeah, that's a great question. So on version 1, I spent a lot of time with a color specialist, and we came out with a royal blue, and it turns out that a lot of people just want black. And so on this one, we're starting with black, but then, similar to the reusable water bottle boom, we're going to follow that playbook with different colors, sizes, patterns, and branch out from black.
I'd suggest you go for something absolute, like Dyson. Do you think of what he did with his vacuum cleaner?
Yeah.
To do so people, a bit like when they had their white iPods.
So it's identifiable.
So it's completely different, and people go, there's one, I want one, and like crazy design. Sorry, we're not supposed to be mentoring here.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I think we're good. No, thank you.
Thanks.
Amazing. This is crazy, but I was literally saying to somebody this week in the office, and I quote, no one's improved on the umbrella yet. Like, it just feels like they just got to the Victorian times and just went, yeah, that's good enough. Like, phones change every year. That's crazy. I'm glad you bought it, though, because I was just picturing like one of those with like a hat. It feels like the umbrella innovation to me. Come on. Amazing. So, no more riffing from me. The next pitch that we have is Party Without Plastic. Come on.
My glamorous assistant. Thank you. Who doesn't love a celebration? But long after the parties are over, the impact on our earth can last for decades. 2,000 tonnes of plastic waste from Halloween and 5 million kilograms of plastic waste from weddings end up in landfill or oceans from the UK every single year. And this has to stop. But we need to make it easy for consumers who seek convenience without compromising on quality. 80% of consumers are prepared to pay at least 10% more for a sustainable product, but sourcing genuinely plastic-free party products on multiple sites, avoiding greenwashing, is incredibly time-consuming. I'm Lorraine, and my business is Party Without Plastic. We are a plastic-free party essentials marketplace, trusted, transparent, and ethical. We help the planet, and we help small businesses. And frankly, it's simply a better way to party. We solve the problem, we alleviate fears, and we deliver on the wider vision of removing the plastic footprint from an industry that is rife with greenwashing. We are approved by the Global Good Market, accredited as plastic-free champions, and we are the finalists in Great British Entrepreneur Awards coming up shortly. And we have more social proof than I can shake a plastic-free stick at. And we're only a few months old. Wow. So I'm confident that with my 20 years business experience, we can make a huge impact in the global plastic party supplies market, which is estimated to be about $20 billion by 2028. We've got a wait list of sellers to join, and I've spoken to about, 9 out of 10 companies that I've spoken to over the last couple of weeks are also really keen to learn more about a new B2B offer that we're also bringing on board. So if you care about the planet and small business and love what we're doing, please come and talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. Please. I was going to say take a seat. amazing. I have 2 small children. The house is full of Halloween decorations right now. We have 2 birthday parties every year, and we use so much plastic. Love the idea. But could you just run me through how it would work? So, me and my wife are going on to buy a kit. Where are we buying from, and what's the difference between buying that and a kit from Amazon? Just walk me through it so I understand the simplicity.
Yeah. Okay, so basically run as a marketplace. We source all our products from UK small businesses. So it runs a bit like in terms of how Etsy works. So basically you go on, you just put in what you want into your basket. That might be from 5 or 6 or 7 different sellers, depending on what you want. But you get one bill, basically. Our business model is we take a commission at the point of sale, which is a commission on the gross sale, and you basically get your products delivered. So we don't hold the stock there, but all our sellers sign up to a term of sellers agreement. So not just the products that have to be plastic free, but also the packaging as well.
Thank you.
Sounds amazing. My Halloween party is coming up as well, and I know there's going to be a lot of plastic there. Sorry.
I highly recommend the edible tableware. It's just absolutely for kids. I have to say,
What about dogs?
it's amazing.
The dog?
Yeah, I mean, check the ingredients first. That's all I'd say.
Don't put ideas in my mind. So in terms of the CPA, what is your expectation? Have you done any testing, in terms of acquiring the customer? Because obviously parties don't come around very often. We forget where we bought it the last time.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about the initial CPA and user retention?
Yeah, I mean, that's really interesting. So, there are a lot of statistics I could kind of throw out there in terms of, particularly between the ages of sort of 3 and 11, the average cost for a birthday party is over £500. That was just out in the news, actually, last week. And most of that, nearly 3/4 of that, is actually spent on decorations and things like that. And if you take something like Halloween, for example, the amount of money that's spent on there is absolutely huge. And I think, what we're doing is we're bringing on new products all the time. Mm-hmm. So the reason I've got a wait list of sellers is because we do a huge amount of due diligence, because I can't stand here and say we're a trusted, transparent, ethical marketplace if I can't put my hand on my heart and say we genuinely are. So I'm studying myself with the IMA and the IES, so I can properly understand what it means to be plastic free and not have things like bioplastics, for example, which aren't quite what they seem. So in terms of that, I think, we're unique at the moment in terms of having a small business marketplace in this field. And I think we're bringing on, new products all the time. It is an area I'm really keen to talk with you about in terms of how we can better understand customer behaviour. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an area in terms of the investment that we're looking for, that we'd like to use some of that investment to better understand that.
Thanks, Lorraine. Love it. One of our questions is proof of traction. So have you got any sales yet?
Yeah, we're getting sales. They are very small at the moment, but our average sale is about between £30 and £40 at the moment. Our sales are very small. I mean, it's nice, I'm waking up most mornings and getting sales, which is always lovely, sort of making a bit of money when you sleep, and it's great for my sellers as well. But we are very, very early stages. So, I'm very honest about that. We're not going through SEIS at the moment, but we are looking for sort of angel investment, and we've had the sort of platform built as well, and I think that is doing well in terms of customer engagement, and but I think in terms of the numbers that we're getting, so we get several thousand coming through every month, and that's great. We're not seeing that turning into the sales that I'd like at the moment, but we're literally a few months old, and actually it's a massive uphill Everest to kind of really get our brand out there and noticed. So we're looking at things like collaboration, working with event venues, and I think the B2B, with the B2C, you need to kind of really deep pockets as well, and a lot of resilience, which I've got by the bucket load, but also I think the B2B is a really exciting area, and having the level of interest that we've had, I think we might get probably, in a way, I think the traction might be quicker on the B2B. Okay. But, really keen to have some mentoring on that.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.
Incredible. God, they're so good, aren't they? I was nowhere near this good when I was on the pitch. Thank you. The pasta straws, by the way, they're amazing. They work well with Pepsi and soup, which is usually unacceptable to drink soup out of a straw. So thank you, Lorraine. Without further ado, the next one, let's welcome them up. A big round of applause for Bye Teddy.
hello. I'm just going to pop this down here. You can, actually, there you go. You can take a look now. 36% of UK households currently have a dog. And during the pandemic, we witnessed a boom.
There's no dog in here because it feels
Surprise. And during the pandemic, we witnessed a boom in dog ownership, especially amongst younger people, with about 30% of 18 to 24-year-olds getting a dog during this period. And with the rising costs of having children and the average age of new parents increasing year on year, we don't expect this generational trend of fur baby adoptions to slow down anytime soon. But why does this matter? You see, the dog lifestyle space is yet to evolve to meet the elevated expectations of this new generation coming through and entering the dog world for the first time. The market is saturated with lookalike brands designed for dog parents in later stages of ownership, and it's ripe for reinvention. Here at By Teddy, we're reinventing what it means to be a dog brand and redefining pup pleasure for a new generation, from everyday walking essentials to beautiful homeware and elevated travel accessories. Since launching only 6 months ago, we've achieved over £65,000 in revenue. We launched in Pets Corner about 3 weeks ago, and we'll be rolling out to their full estate of 160 stores by the end of this year, proving amazing traction and setting our foundations to accelerate at pace within the market to become, hopefully, the biggest dog lifestyle brand in the UK and then the world. Having built and sold a business before, and with a combined 15 years experience within our founding team, working on some of the biggest brands in the world at companies like Unilever, Danone, L'Oreal and Wagamama, I believe we have some amazing capabilities between us to turn By Teddy into the next biggest thing to turn the dog world by storm. Thank you very much. I'm David, by the way. I don't think I said that in my pitch.
Oh, we got it on here. Is this your only product? Is this your first product?
Yeah, this is.
This is the launch product.
So we've got a whole range of different products. So we do everything from dog carriers in a few different colours, travel car seats, collars, harnesses, walking sets, loads of different things. So yeah.
How are you selling them?
So we sell online, and we're in about 20 independent pet stores. A lot of them are more premium ones in sort of central London, sort of Kensington, Wimbledon area. And yeah, we've just launched in Pets Corner, 3 or 4 weeks ago now. So yeah.
Firstly, I think I should apologise because this is actually your bag. And I've dug into it.
Sorry, yeah, I've got my car keys in there as well, so yeah.
So sorry about that. I mean, what's the competition like? I mean, you've said that there is a market out there for it, but no brands are differentiating themselves. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm not really pitching this very well when I say it's an extremely saturated market, but when I look at a saturated market, I think that's, a massive opportunity because it gives you that opportunity to, I mean, it's not massively disruptive because, this isn't an exciting AI thing where I'm solving a massive problem, but it's kind of tapping into that insight that nobody is really creating something for this new cohort of consumers that are coming through into the space. So when I talk about like a saturated market, I'm talking about, I think the dog space in particular, dog accessories, is an extremely low barrier to entry. I think during the pandemic, there was this huge influx of people thinking, I've got a lot of spare time, I'm going to start a dog brand because I love dogs. And there was just so many people doing everything, and because everyone was kind of copying each other, you kind of have this huge marketplace of everything that looks the same. Right. And when we picked up our puppy kind of towards the end of last year, me and my girlfriend, we couldn't find anything that, talked to us as consumers. So we saw that opportunity, and a lot of other people saw it as well.
If I can ask one more question. So it sounds like you need a marketing plan to, make this the different product in the market to make people aware of it. What's the marketing plan?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think like a lot of, fashion brands or lifestyle brands, it's all about community these days. So we've got this big roadmap on how we're going to amplify people connecting with our brand through community. So it's showing what dogs mean to people, whether that's doing sort of charity dog walks or partnering up with certain celebrities who have, dogs and inviting them on and talking around, the neuroscience of dog ownership or various different things. It's about how do we build that community around the brand that not only, drives people to, buying our products. It's about, just people feeling close and connected to us. Yeah.
And just continuing on the same thoughts, who is your buyer? So paint a picture for me. What's their gender, age, what do they do on their holidays? Like who are you going after as audience?
So if my girlfriend was here, she's actually at home looking after the dog because we couldn't get someone to do that. I would have just pointed at her because
Tell us about her.
It's pretty much her. So, I mean, she is 20, she's 27 years old now. And, you know, if I go into the insight of, there's this thing called the humanization of dogs, where people are treating dogs like their children and their babies, because I spoke about the insights at the start of my pitch. But it's essentially, you know, you want someone who really cares about how they look, they care about their fashion, they care about their home, they care about, you know, the aesthetics, and kind of not necessarily from a like a obnoxious point of view, but just, you know, they care for themselves and they want that to kind of, you know, signify with other things that they own in their life, like their dogs. So yeah, it's for
So is this
like
luxury or mass market?
So we call ourselves affordable luxury. So we're not super cheap, and we're not kind of at the luxury level of sort of the Hugo bosses. We sit right in the middle, which seems to be working really well for us at the moment.
And if I will build an emotional connection with the brand, what would be like 3 words that would trigger that emotional connection with the brand? What should I think of when I think about your brand?
So it's about comfort, style, and community, I guess.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Amazing. I know who the customer is. It's my sister, because she at Christmas I was opening my one gift, and the dog is just there, just tearing through so many gifts. You do them in human sizes. It looks really comfortable. Thank you for that. Bye, Teddy. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is UGC Planet.
Hi all, I'm Cal. I'm the co-founder of UGC Planet, and we specialize in user-generated content. So what is UGC? UGC is original content created by the regular user. This could be photos, videos, blogs, and so on. Essentially, this type of content is used by brands to authentically connect with their audiences and gain their trust, and through that also increase their sales. However, the problem is that they are struggling to gain access to this UGC, to the UGC creators. So one of the problems is they're struggling to find affordable or high quality, authentic, localized UGC. And this is where we come in. We essentially want to democratize UGC. So yeah, and it is working. At UGC Planet, we currently have over 1,000 users across 52 different countries. We've got over 30 organic UGC requests, 80% of which are from international brands. And we are working with we've got two strategic partnerships in place. Now, UGC Planet is not just a marketplace. We have a lot of products that we will be developing in the next 15 to 20 years. One of them being lifelike AI creators, and we are just the right people to build it. I have a background in accounting and customer success. My co-founder, Aruba, is a data analytics genius and has co-founded the NHSX Python community. And our third co-founder, Abijoy, has built the infrastructure for several startups from the ground up and specializes in AI. And we also have our team of volunteers up there who believe in our vision and have come here to support us. But yeah, I'll wrap this up. We are UGC Planet, and we are making word of mouth digital.
Well done. If I can start, obviously there's so many UGC platforms out there. So maybe tell us a little bit more about what is behind your success. What is it that when people come to your platform that they are finding different versus other UGC platforms?
Okay, so there's a lot of UGC, not marketplaces, agencies for sure. There is a couple of big UGC marketplaces, but they mostly focus on the US and slightly in the EU market. We want to make this global. We can see their success, and we want to bring it here.
somebody who uses lots of UGC agencies, lots because most of them are not very good. So I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about what you do. But how are you making money? And and what sort of traction have you got at this stage?
Okay, so we've got two sides of the business. We've got the marketplace, which starts at $49. We make about 20% of that. Okay. And we've got the bespoke solutions. That is a bit more complicated because depending on what the client needs, the prices are slightly different, but we can go into that later on. But yeah.
Yeah, and just early traction is because I take it you're at an early stage.
We're post-revenue for sure.
Right.
We're not exactly where we want to be, and that's because we are currently in the middle of a revamp. Okay. Once that revamp's done, we'll be set to go fully on the bespoke solution sides as well.
Okay, and will it be just a UK business or a global business? I mean, it says Planet.
No, completely global.
Yeah.
Our market is the world.
Okay.
Like I said, we've got over 30 organic UGC requests, 80% of which are from the rest of the world.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so you said you've got 1,000 creators.
Users, sorry.
Users?
Yes.
So explain that to me.
So for the marketplace, we've got users, so the actual UGC creators, and then we've got brands that have signed up that are looking for UGC creators.
Yeah, so so there's 1,000 creators?
Users, yeah. I can't really give you an exact number of what percentage are creators and what percentage are brands at the moment, yeah.
Okay. I'm a bit of an analog entrepreneur in a digital age, actually, so I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about whatsoever. And it's kind of, you've obviously got an agency, so you know much more about this.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain it to me.
Well, I can explain what they don't do, if that helps you. Sorry to keep going on about it, but it's something that we're going through with TikTok agencies at the moment. So we're a TikTok partner, and they're always asking us to work with preferred agencies of them. But I just find that the lack of, we give them direction, and they don't follow it. And then we tend to notice that the videos are all shot in the same location. So it's like they gather 10 influencers and all shoot in the same place, and they, well, let's send that to Dr.PAWPAW. What do you do then when it comes to briefs? And
yeah, so we are currently working on an AI generator brief that will simplify that, the brief. We also will be creating essentially like the way Tinder has when you're matching with another person. We'll have that for creators and brands as well. There's a whole lot of other toolkits that we are building, but that's after the revamp and after we set the marketplace.
What are you revamping?
The whole site, everything.
Just the interface or the technology behind
technology, everything behind it.
And
it's going to take some time. That's why we're here.
Fair enough. It's a good investment. And for the AI creators, the characters, is it a proprietary in-house technology, or are you plugging into any of the big players?
That you'd have to talk to Abijoy. He is the IT guy. But I would say we are using the creators that we have on the platform to do that.
Okay, amazing.
So they have to be almost lifelike,
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Amazing. I won't have to do this next year because it's just going to be like a robot up here doing this. Great. Just awesome. Next one. Let's get on to the next one. You guys are doing well on the applauses. This is good. Let's keep it up. Auralyze.ai.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to get right into the pitch. I think this is a problem a lot of you have faced. Thousands in debt, years invested, and still no job. This is the reality for millions of job seekers across the globe. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Auralyze.ai comes in. We're using AI to revolutionize the interview prep market. So, the problem is, for those young professionals, getting into their dream job is tough. Usually, it's locked behind who they know, expensive resources, and generally they don't get sound advice. So how exactly are we changing that? On Auralyze.ai, we allow our users to get instant access to thousands of questions, get accurate AI-generated feedback, and access to resources actively on the website. So this is a big market. Why are we trying to solve this? We've got 254 million university students worldwide and a £5.6 billion UK edtech market. So this is the right time to solve this problem. In our first year in beta, we helped to onboard over 2,000 users, and that means active people looking to land their first job or get into university, and priced at £20 a month. We're reliable and provide cheap and cheerful advice for people looking for their dream role. So why should we be the ones to win? Why are we building the right product? With 6 years in the admissions space, I've seen firsthand the need for this product, and with my co-founder, Angelina, a senior software engineer who has experience in the admissions space, we believe that we can build this product quickly and iterate, providing the best quality. We've raised £120,000 from Techstars, and we're looking to raise more to make sure that we reach out outside the UK and into the States. So, practice your first 10 questions on us and check out Auralyze.ai today. Thanks for listening.
I thought I'd join and field any technical questions.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll have them.
We're ready.
I love it. Very exciting idea and very exciting time to be doing it. Can you walk us through how it works exactly, right? So we come to the, chat or site. Just walk us through how it works.
So simply put, when you go into the website, you're able to put in your details, what you're applying for. Then it has a video interview interface. So you record yourself with some of our thousands of questions, you pick the field, and from that our AI will generate feedback. That will go into your communication style, it go into what exactly you said, and talk about how you can improve.
Are you using some sort of a RAG system that's actually supporting the AI?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Without boring the whole crowd. We can keep it non-technical, but what I was curious about is that are you using something like a GPT, or are you adding a RAG system to be able to actually remember who the person is, to personalize the experience?
So we're building out our RAG system currently, but at the moment we have an algorithm that essentially for whatever the users, whatever question they're answering, so say they're answering a question that's about ethics, we find the best model for ethical scenario questions, and we field them to that model. So we're building on top of existing infrastructure at the moment, but we're also trying to build our SLMs and fine-tune them a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And at the moment, what's the business model? Well, like, how are you making money?
That's me. So at the moment, we're direct to consumer. So we go specifically to 3 main sectors. One is going to be young students applying to university, competitive fields, Oxbridge, medicine, dentistry, and then we're looking at university students applying for their first role. So typically we're going for finance, we're going for banking. So a lot of these kind of modules that are looking for higher views, which are quite competitive, we're going right there. And our secondary model, as we get more data, is to go B2B, where we're providing this data and these insights to recruitment consultants to better match them together.
I mean, why not provide the solution for free to users, get all the data, and then just sell B2B?
Yeah, fantastic question. We actually did provide this service for free last year, got our data, got our understanding. Right now, we believe that we're priced quite fairly. When we're looking at recruitment consultants and tuition companies, it's very easy to get into the hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. So we believe we're in the right space to actually provide support.
Amazing.
You've said that you've raised 120,000 so far, and hello, by the way, I'm Johnny. How much more money do you envisage that you have to keep raising to get this business? I mean, I don't know if you're making money yet, but how much more money do you need to raise before you get to that place where you're profitable? And sorry, third question, what's exit?
Yeah, great question. So to answer all of those in detail, first point, what we're looking to raise, £500,000. For that, it's to help build out our development team, because currently it's the fantastic Angelina, but we're looking to scale and build up. After that, we're looking for our marketing. So currently, we're quite heavily focused on TikTok organic. We want to be reaching out to UGCs, getting a bit more insight into how we can grow. And lastly, it's to allow us to go full-time on this role. Currently, we're still working our full-time jobs alongside this, so it's in order to give us that flexibility. And our exit, I'll do this last, but in terms of our exit, we're looking to exit within 5 to 7 years, typically through acquisition, hopefully by one of the big edtech companies.
Impressive.
Did you want to say something?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that slightly. The reason why we're very grateful to have the 120,000 in funding, but as I'm sure Tugce knows, AI is super expensive. Compute processing is super expensive. So to build and kind of grow and scale, we just need more money coming in, essentially.
Yeah.
You said it was £40 a month?
£20 a month.
Oh, £20 a month.
Yes.
How many people have you got paying that currently?
So currently, we've just launched our post revenue last month. We're currently on about 100 active users. From last year, we're on about 2,000. So we're looking to ramp up and scale that even more as we get active.
Yeah.
And our main interview cycle starts October through to April. So it's a bit more seasonal, and we're looking to expand that also in different markets in the US and
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Just one more super quick
Yeah,
one.
sure.
What's your current cost, the model cost per paying user? So you are getting, you said how many pounds?
£20
So of that £20, how much you have to pay for the model usage?
So it varies depending on usage and depending on what model we're sending it to. So for particular subjects, such as business or mathematical-minded ones, it's a little bit more expensive to run. But on average, our calls are super cheap. So it depends on essentially how active the user is on the platform. Let's say an average user where they're submitting around 100 questions a month, it costs us around £2 if you factor in our AI cost and our infrastructure cost.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Great questions, great answers. I'm sure everybody on the live stream is enjoying it too. Let's go with the next one, Verta Golf.
She told me I can swear quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Golf cleaner, love it.
Golf is facing a crisis, and it's coming from somewhere you'd least expect. Golf balls. Every year, 420 million of them end up in landfill, along with shoes, clubs, grips and plastic tees. The sport needs help. At Verta Golf, our mission is clear: to help make golf greener. We started with an eco-friendly equipment cleaner, and so far sold over 3,500 units. And we have now expanded into sustainable golf balls. We collect waste and damaged golf balls, recycle them into new high-performance golf balls, significantly reducing waste without sacrificing on quality. Right now, we're testing our golf ball at a leading driving range that currently uses 160,000 golf balls a year. And the results are promising. Our model is circular. We can supply new and recycled golf balls and then buy them back for further recycling. Our team includes a 2-time exited founder, a PhD global marketing director, and myself driving and leading innovation. And we're ready to disrupt the $300 million range ball market. And Verta has opened its pre-seed round, and we're currently seeking £250,000, and we're looking for purpose-driven partners who share our vision in making sport greener. Thank you.
I was going to say. Neither can I, but I'll try. What are the balls made of? Sorry, you might have covered that.
Golf balls.
Yes. Oh, they're actually just made of old golf balls.
Yeah, so basically, so a golf ball's got a life cycle. So to give you an example, a driving range would typically replace their golf balls either once or twice a year. After an amount of time, the cover starts to wear down and they just go in the bin. There's no use for them until now. Yeah. We collect them, we put them through a recycling process, break them down into a crumb, and then they're remade back into a brand new ball, and we basically put new coating on them.
I mean, it's a really great story. And where are you selling to? Is driving ranges, but is there any retail outlets that you're selling to?
Yeah, so we're very early with retail. It actually, the idea started out to be a retail-focused brand with the equipment cleaner and the golf ball, but the more I was going out to the market, realised that there's a bigger opportunity there with the B2B side. So yeah, we're doing both.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
Have you finished?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. Yeah.
And how much do they cost in relation to new ones, your recycled version?
So we retail a dozen, which is 12 golf balls, at $14.99. So the market we're going for with that is your beginner golfer, someone who's new to golf. You know, it's quite an expensive sport. We want to remove some of the barriers for people getting into it. And for driving ranges, we charge anything from 38 pence all the way up to 50p, depending on the volume. And in terms of how does that compare against the competition, Strixon, which is a leading brand, would sell a dozen for £20, and their driving range ball is 50, 60p.
Okay, so they're cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much are you raising?
250,000.
And what do you want to use those resources for?
So that's going to be recruiting mainly team premises. We have got a bottleneck at the moment, and that is actually collecting the waste golf balls. It's just me driving round at the moment, knocking on doors, putting them in the back of the car. We need a facility. We need a proper... we kind of operate like a deposit return scheme, if not one of those is. So we actually take the balls back. We don't actually pay the range any money. We just basically say we're going to give you 5 pence per ball. So on the next order, they basically get a credit. And you know, there's ranges saying, yeah, we want to do this, but I'm like, it needs to just slow down a little bit until we've got a few things in place.
That's a very smart system. So they actually effectively end up buying the product because you're giving them credit.
Yeah.
It's not a very price-sensitive market, right? So, well, how are you thinking about differentiating in terms of like in your marketing, etc.? Is it more the sustainability story?
Yeah, legislation will change with recycling. You know, there was a big push on the plastic tee, which is what the golf ball sits on. They're being phased out of golf courses. They're all wooden or bamboo. It's a matter of time, really, until the government picks up on this. And you know, it's a global issue. It's not just UK. We just need to be at the front when that happens.
Amazing.
I wonder, so is there a market-leading golf ball already? And if that is the case, why aren't they doing this? Because it makes absolute sense. This is an incredible product.
Yeah, totally. The only thing that I'm aware of currently is somebody trying to find a different material to make a golf ball from. Strixon, which they're owned by Dunlop, huge rubber company. They're creating something made from cornstarch, but I can't tell you how that is recycled.
Yeah, can you protect it?
Yeah, so do you own the IP technology for this machine or whatever it goes through?
No, currently we're working with a manufacturing partner that does that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's something you should consider, trying to get that protected, because other companies can contact that manufacturer and say, can we have it? So
totally, yeah. It's speed. We just need.
We'll get to market first, and everybody knows it's yours. That's also another part.
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions? Nope. Good. Thank you. Really good.
I was feeling really guilty about all those balls that I shanked off 400 yards to the right. Now I feel really guilty because you're the one that's got to come pick them all up. Thanks for doing that. It's good though because it's sustainable. Now I feel like I'm helping the environment. Who have we got next? Let's welcome up Rezon.
We are defined by our brain. It determines our mood, our thinking, our processing, our performance in life and sport. But head impacts in sport create brain injury, negative cognitive, psychiatric and mental health outcomes, including suicide. Rezon has developed a protective headband with patented technology that protects the brain. In every concussion and smaller force impact, a subconcussion, there are rotational forces present. These cause the brain to rotate inside the skull with damaging neuroinflammation. This band reduces rotational forces by up to 61%. No product in the world does better. Rezon Halos entered the market 2 years ago. It's used in 18 sports, sold in 14 geographies, a forward order book of 1 million, and sold right across the world with 200 partnerships here alone in the UK. We've got a small team, but global experts across brain health, biomechanics, medtech, manufacturing. Rezon Halos offers every player in sport the opportunity to protect their brain and contributes to a future where players, present and future, no longer have to face the potential outcome of a neurodegenerative disease. We were recently awarded a £700,000 Innovate UK grant, to which we're match funding. Thank you.
Judith, passionate, really passionate. I love that. Tell me your story, because is there a story behind this product?
There sure
I feel
is.
it. I feel it.
There sure is. For 30 years, from playing hockey at school, I've asked a question. Why on earth do you protect your shins and teeth and not your brain? So I decided to do something about it. And in the middle of COVID, when everybody had time, I Googled brain protection. And there was no product, because there's skull protection, which is a helmet, and scalp protection, which is a head guard, which people know from rugby. But to develop brain protection means you've got to understand the mechanics of brain injury and the physicality of the brain. And that means reducing these rotational forces in higher force impacts, which people know as concussions, and the more frequent and less known subconcussions. And that's the answer.
I've got one more question, just because I'm a huge football fan, and as you'll know, there's lots and lots of stories that talks about the football players from the 1960s that were headering this leather ball full of water, and sadly, they think it contributes to dementia. Can this be used by footballers?
Two things. Number one, the weight of a football hasn't changed since 1860. The ball you're talking about got wet and therefore was heavier, but it travels slower. Let's remember GCSE physics, force equals mass times acceleration. In the new world, players are taking more force because the ball doesn't get any heavier, it's better designed. Football players are better shins, better boots, it's coming at you more. The ball is doing you more damage today than it did back then. And this band does work to reduce those rotational forces so the brain is rotated less inside the skull. So yes, it does.
So how would they wear it though in the game? Of course.
Just like that. And it's,
very good.
And I should say, it's worn in 3 Premier League academies. It's worn in the professional game, in women's game. So we have a number of Matildas wearing it in Australia. It's worn in US soccer as well. And one other thing that I think has got a bit lost is heading. Heading is only 13% of impacts in football. It's a bit like blaming donuts for obesity. A bit unfair.
Great answer, by the way. Great answer.
Thank you.
Hey Judith, that was a very good, succinct pitch. So well done.
Thank
Excellent. So how many people are actually wearing these now? What traction? One of our questions is traction. Tell us about.
Thousands. So as I said, we've sold this. We sell directly through our website. We sell on Amazon. We sell directly to clubs and schools. We have a partnership with the largest school equipment provider into the independent school here in the UK. So there are thousands wearing this. Some people have more than one because, to your question earlier, does it only come in black? No, it comes in anything you want. So we have people who have it branded for their Saturday morning rugby club, their school, etc. as well.
Anyone famous, any kind of iconic wearers, users that are the kind of photographed ones?
Yes, in Australian football, Maddie Bush, who is a former Matilda, we have it worn in the US rugby squad as well. And I think you'll see some up-and-coming players coming very soon into the Premier League who've started wearing this in the academy setting. So yes.
Congrats on the grant. That sounds really exciting. And hopefully you will match. So you're talking about roughly 1.5 million. Is it particularly for sales and go-to-market, or how are you going to use the money?
A couple of things. One is expanding our global footprint. So one of our biggest markets is Australia, where the opportunity is huge. Brain injury in Australia is a very political point at the moment, and there's huge emphasis on trying to bring things into the market to reduce the risk. So we need money to support that. The other point is getting more clinical proof points. So clinical studies beyond what we've already done take a lot of money. So it's being used for that, and that's the Innovate Specifically grant application.
It sounds like such a no-brainer, right? So
no brain, no gain is trademarked. So put it. So leave it there.
What are the objections? Like, what's stopping the sales from going crazy tomorrow? Like, what are some of the objections you are handling?
Sadly, it's lack of knowledge. So tonight, if nothing else, if you can talk to the people that you know who play sport, tell them about rotational forces, tell them about the ability to protect their brain, that's the first hurdle knocked down. Yeah. And once people understand this, and particularly children who take head impacts under 12 years of age grow up to be cognitively disadvantaged as adults. What parent, what coach, and what teacher would stand for that. And it's that knowledge point. And that's the bit we've got to get over. And once people get over that, then it's no brain, no gain.
Amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
Incredibly important work. Thank you. Thank you for doing the work. I'm seeing lots of entertained faces. This is great. We've got 2 left. Keep the applause going, and we'll bring you 2 more. The next pitch that we have, come on up, Whistler's Storm.
Oh, thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Dominic Richardson. I'm the founder of Whistler's Storm, a producer of tea-based liqueurs. It all began during an eye-opening trip to Kerala, where the discovery of the tea-making process truly captured me. And during the first lockdown, I merged this new passion with my hobby of liqueur making, creating something truly unique. And now, here I am, pitching a business idea about tea liqueurs, where before Kerala, I only drank builder's tea. Globally, tea is loved, but tea-based liqueurs are rare. Modern consumers seek unique, lower ABV spirits with rich flavours like tea, revealing a clear market gap. We seek to fill this gap with our 20% strength tea-based liqueurs, which use a neutral spirit base to showcase tea's natural complexity. We currently produce 4 distinct teas with plans for ready-to-drink cans and more varieties soon. Since our July 2021 launch, I've handled everything from development to manufacturing to sales while working part-time. I've secured national distribution in Italy, Taiwan, and now China, as well as extensive UK sales, achieving £270,000 in revenue. We've also won numerous industry awards. This positions us well to capture a significant market share in a growing liqueur market. We're seeking £250,000 investment to scale production, add expertise, and expand in the UK and key international markets. Join us in steeping a new chapter in the spirits industry. Thank you.
Hey Dom, great pitch. I think so you're the only one doing alcoholic tea at the moment, or one of a few?
One of a few. So in the US, there's a hard tea. They call it a hard tea market, and then it's more a trend towards lower, like 5-6% cans.
Yep.
But in terms of a higher ABV liqueur, so 20%, even anything higher than that, globally there are a limited number of brands.
Yep.
And the ones that are there haven't seemed to have tried to, I don't think anyway, have seemed to try to push it as much as I think it should be. Yep.
And I think there lies my point. You are on a mission then, and with that you have to do a lot of marketing.
Of course.
What does the budget look like? How are you going to do it? Because I'm not saying that the idea isn't good. I think it's a great concept.
Yep.
But if you are one on your own, sometimes having competitors is a really great thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm not opposed to any competition, but yeah, the marketing is definitely key with this, which is why I would like to raise investment. And I can bring people on board with specific marketing experience. I've got a accounting, finance background. It's very different. It helps on some aspects of the business. But yeah, in terms of marketing, that's a key area where any investment and also where current funds that I do put into the company go on.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so the packaging is great, actually. I love the way that you've done that. I'm interested why you didn't actually come up here with a little sample, because this is the thing.
I didn't know that was allowed. I'm limited on time. You're more. There's 3 bottles in there, 1 each. So
I know,
you're
but
more
this
than
is
welcome to open one up.
As Johnny said, this is the thing, isn't it? Sampling, and it's because essentially you're trying. It's a bit what I think Red Letter Day is trying to get establish a market for tea liqueur, which is not really established, and so that's the thing, is getting people to try this and test it, and it's having that mentality to here it's like 100 samples that people can just to get it into the collective consciousness.
Yeah.
That's going to be your challenge, isn't it? And Johnny's right, that is the big marketing thing. That's the
But I mean, don't give up. Because as we talked about earlier. Yeah, no, absolutely not. But, if you really believe in this, and it looks great, the packaging's great, it looks like a great story. So, yeah, don't give up.
What does it taste like? Is it like, what's the closest alcohol?
It tastes like different types of tea. So I don't use the spirit I use as a base. It's essentially vodka, which is a flavourless spirit.
Okay, all right.
And it's cold brewed. It's infused with the tea for a very long time to extract as much of the tea flavour as possible. So I've got 4 different teas of the range at the moment, and each one tastes of the respective tea.
Any cocktails, cocktail recipes designed?
There's some
ideas on the back.
Oh, love it,
so one of my key markets I'm focusing on is the on-trade, which is cocktail bars, because similar to what you're saying with sampling and so on, you don't go into a bar at the moment and ask for a tea liqueur because you don't know it exists. But if it's on a cocktail menu, on a cocktail list, it's on there, people are intrigued, and I've had success with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, in previous life, I've done the go-to-market for Fever Tree, and more recently with Trip. And seeding in bars is literally with some cocktail recipes is like really the key thing. Yeah. I think the interesting question here is do you have access to those channels? Any unfair advantage you have, right? Like how are you thinking about seeding this in some key pubs or bars?
This is like where I've had success in Italy, Taiwan, and China, for example. I sell to distribution companies there who have sales agents on the ground who work for them, who go out and introduce my products to the bars, and that's all embedded, in the price they pay from me. So I don't have to pay anything extra on top of this, unless it's like extra events and so on. But that's the operating model, and that model does exist in the UK as well, which I do make usage of. So yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great brand name, though. I was stood there thinking, that sounds like a really great name for a whiskey company. So I'm so excited to see that it was actually a drink. And sometimes you think, I just want to warm myself up, need a brandy, or warm myself up, need a cup of tea. Both. Why not both? Easy. Thank you. On the point of brands, I hope I'm pronouncing the final one correctly. I'm going to welcome up the final pitch. So lots of noise, please. Quas.
I do also have a physical product, but I'm not going to give it to you because you will be distracted. Not now, at the end of the pitch, okay?
Good sales.
For everyone to see. Attention is important. Everyone's fighting for it, right? I need your attention right now. Here.
Wow, the package.
Do you think being the last one is better than the first one? I don't know. I've been debating this sitting for the last half an hour. Let's go. Today, we get up to 70% of our daily energy intake from ultra-processed foods, which have been linked to increasing chronic health conditions such as allergies, diabetes, and obesity. These diets have changed our gut microbiome, which is no longer probably properly able to train our immune system, affecting our entire body. So at Quas, we are on a mission to restore healthy gut microbiome with the next generation of gut health products. Our MVP is called Quas, which is a non-alcoholic beverage fermented with sourdough starter culture, making it the most concentrated and the most diverse probiotic product on the market today. Since launch, we have earned 2 Great Taste Awards and sold almost 30,000 cans. To scale our impact beyond the UK, we are now developing the Quas symbiotic formulation, which could add gut-enhancing properties to everyday products. But we will also use it to release Quas home brewing kit, which will allow anyone to make delicious Quas with the best gut health properties anywhere in the world. Right now, if you Google one word, Quas, you will see us being the leader of this rapidly growing $3 billion global market. Equipped with a PhD in biotechnology and a team of experts in DCC marketing and microbiology of fermented foods, we're ready to lead the fight against the negative impact of ultra-processed foods on our health. We're asking for £300,000 to accelerate our growth and finish R&D. Thank you.
Amazing, thank you.
I promised.
And maybe you can start telling us a little bit more about the distribution channels. How are you thinking about it at the moment? Any contracts, or is it D2C?
So at the moment, the current product you're holding in your hand is the MVP.
Mhm.
The MVP needs to be always stored in the fridge, and it has only shelf life of 6 weeks. It is impossible to reach traditional distribution channels with this product. I realized this, and now I'm changing the product, and this is why we'll split it into, first of all, non-alcoholic drink that has a long shelf life, which we can be distributing for traditional retail channels, including retail shops, on-trade, off-trade, etc. And the D2C model that will be used for the Quas symbiotic formulation. It will also be an ingredient as well as a product that we can sell anywhere in the world.
If I can ask maybe one more question. I'm a huge fan of fermented drinks. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so it's usually like my adult, long drink would be a fermented drink. It's a very competitive market, right? There are a lot of really good products. I think I buy a different gut health drink every week, pretty much, right? There's a new brand. This looks amazing. The branding looks amazing. The packaging looks really interesting. But tell us a bit more. How do you think you would be able to stand out if you were pitching to Waitrose, for example, to get on the shelf? Like, how do you differentiate from everyone else?
Well, I'm a scientist, so I've studied every single competitor existing in the market. Unfortunately, the majority of them is 99% marketing and only 1% of the actual health benefit. The reality from me as a scientist, building fast-moving consumer goods market product has been a tough learning curve. And I realized through experience that everyone cares about how cheap it is to produce, how easy it is to produce, how cheap it is to distribute, where they're going to sell and make big money. At what stage do they think about your health? Unfortunately, the very, very last. I'm a scientist first, and I want to bring the product that makes a difference. That's why we're leading with something that simply doesn't exist, and it beats the competition in every single parameter.
That makes all the difference.
Thank you.
I'm not doing that.
So can we go over the price points then? Because I hear what you're saying, and actually, my brand, we started out with our lip care products, and we were quite premium. And quite quickly we learned that if we were going to stay that premium, we weren't going to sell a lot of goods. So there's little things that we did, changing formatting, changing sizing, but we never lost the quality. What's the price point like, and how are you going to keep up this? It sounds premium, it sounds more expensive than what's already available in the market. And as you'll know, in retail, it's got to move.
100% agree. And again, we started as a premium product because we are premium. The premium on par with the other premium products, and the closest competitor in the UK is kombucha. So we're not charging more than that. In terms of the quality and the distribution and making it accessible and available, 100% agree. This is why for the shelf-stable version that we are releasing in Q1 next year, we will aim to hit the mark of £2 per can. And that should be at retail price.
I'm checking here, so that would be good.
Way better, I agree.
You have a question?
Yeah. So tell us more about what you said about it not keeping, and because it's got a best before date. So you said it's difficult to kind of keep stable. So how long have you got from canning this to selling it before it goes off?
So we basically, at the moment, the way we produce it and the way we distribute, because we do D2C, we can deliver the freshest product to the customers, right? It's fantastic for you guys. For me, I love it, but it's not scalable. The only way to scale it is to change the product. This is why the shelf-stable version will be both cheaper and will have from 12 to 18, maybe 24 months shelf life. And then the second product, the symbiotic formulation, will allow us to keep the shelf life still stable before you add the liquids. From the biological perspective, it's very difficult to keep things alive, and this is what we want them to be alive, if they are in liquid. By using special technology that we're developing at the moment, we can basically freeze them in time until the fermentation kit gets delivered to the customer, and then they at home can create their own drink, which will have no compromise on the quality for the gut health.
Interesting. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can drink it later. I hope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another big round of applause there, please. So, Rachel, Johnny, Tugce, thank you so much. I don't want to interrupt you because my reminder was going to be, can you fill out your form?
Yes.
So you're doing it now, which is great. And while that's happening, we're going to be working out the results, and I'm going to be announcing the winners soon. No pressure. But in the meantime, just a little reminder that the organisation that we're at today is also a business. And I'm very fortunate to have worked with them, and also has a founder, and that founder is here to tell us a little bit more about the pitch and talk about the partners that we have. So please, a huge welcome, because we wouldn't be here without him, Chris.
Hi everyone, appreciate the round of applause. Probably should be more directed at my team, Holly, Karina and Kat, so thank you for making this happen. So as Ash says, I'm the founder of a company called Inkwell. We run the pitch and we specialise in marketing to entrepreneurs. So we work with the likes of Innovate UK, Dell, Enterprise Nation, and we help them build relationships with entrepreneurs like yourselves. We actually run the pitch on a not-for-profit basis, so everything we get from partners is put back into the programme, back into the community so that we can support more entrepreneurs and make entrepreneurship as accessible as possible. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank the partners that make the programme possible, that allow us to keep it free for all the founders that take part, and that also bring a huge amount of value to the community as well. So first up, we have Curry's Business. They've supported the pitch for the last 2 years. We actually buy all of our own kit from Curry's. They've been really helpful, whether it's for podcasting, streaming events, taking photos, whatever. And this year they are running Kit Up with Curry's. So they actually gave 2 of the founders from the pitch a tech bundle that they could use to help up their social media game, to make running their startup more efficient. And also so we can follow their stories. So they're actually publishing lots of social videos on our channel with their new gear. And you can follow that and kind of find out more about what it's like on the day-to-day lives of those founders and learn from their experiences. Next up, we have Founder Catalyst, and they do the legal paperwork for startups. So if you are raising investment, I'm sure you'll know that you need to get SEIS or EIS assurance from HMRC. And that basically means that the people that invest in you, normally the angel investors, they get a really powerful tax break. So they can help with that. They've got an incredible Trustpilot rating and they really good turnaround times too. The value that they brought to the community was to offer free investment deck reviews. So effectively, you upload your investment deck and Sam Simpson, their founder, would critique it. Sam's an incredible businessman in his own right, so he built a business from 0 to 30 million in revenue in 5 years. And he's also invested in 30 startups. So he really knows what it's talking about when it comes to both sides of the table. And he was able to share advice on those decks. So if you are looking for legal paperwork, please check out our website because you can get a 10% discount code. If you do want your deck reviewed, there's a waiting list on there as well. Finally, we have Tide. So Tide offer the most complete business banking account solution and give you all of the tools you need, financial tools you need to run your business. They've also recently launched savings accounts and card reader products. Tide are again with us for the 2nd year, and they ran an incredible competition called Pop Up with Tide. I know the finalists are in the crowd with us tonight, and we will find out who's going to get the £5,000 grant in just a moment. So I won't keep you waiting too long if you're on the edge of your seat finding out whether you're going to win or not. That Pop Up with Tide competition had lots and lots of free advice that everyone can access to improve their business. We also ran pop-up events where retailers from all around the Southwest could come to Bristol and test trade and have a go at selling in person with the support of a card Tide reader and all the marketing that came with it for absolutely free. So we really appreciate the value that they brought to the community this year. And finally, there is a code that we'll share at the end of the event where if you sign up for a Tide business banking account, after coming to this event, you'll get £200 cash back. So to find out who the winner is, I would love to welcome Julia, Tide's Head of Performance Marketing and Growth, to the stage. Massive round of applause, please.
Stay here with me. Hi. Feels like I'm winning the £5,000. Well, for Tide, it's so important to be here. First of all, listening to pitches from brave people like you that kind of
put yourselves out there every day to build a business, which is very hard. We know that. So very helpful to have Chris with us to partner and support business owners that are starting out. And we're happy to be able to announce today £5,000 going to Alice from Peace and Pure.
I'll hold the mic, so that's a big check.
Hi, I'm not prepared for this. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. Thank you, Tide, and thank you for the pitch. So my name is Alice. I'm the founder of Peace and Pure. Peace and Pure is a beauty and wellness brand that focuses on restore your skin from mental stress. So we're particularly good at preventing and correcting mental stress-induced skin aging. So we're actually fundraising as well, and I'm really happy to meet Johnny here, and a big fan of the Dr.PAWPAW, and love to connect afterwards. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Lovely. So you're going to look great on the tube later with that giant chair. Okay, so we're going to have the winner announcement in just a moment, so I'll hand back to our lovely host, Ash.
Thank you. Amazing. It clearly works. I need some of that. Oh, I'm so stressed. Okay, tonight's full of award winners. We've already had one. We've got two more coming up. As I mentioned at the top of the talk, the awards are quite fragile. I think Holly's quite scared that we're going to drop one. So go careful. If you win, grab it carefully. We don't want you to cut yourself that glass. We've got two awards. The first one is People's Choice. People's Choice was voted on via YouTube over the last few weeks, I'm told. And I don't actually have the cards for the winners, I've just realised. So if you could just pop me those, thank you. And the winner of that one is, drum roll, Party Without Plastic.
So much. Oh my God, that is amazing. It means so much because People's Choice is kind of just like showing me that everyone's really behind it. And I know that quite a lot of my UK small business sellers are going to be watching this live. And I just want to give like a massive shout out to them because I wouldn't have a business without them. They totally believe in me from the beginning. And I said to them, look, this is a long journey, marathon, not a sprint. And you guys like are doing amazing stuff. Will you come on this journey with me? And they went, yeah, absolutely. So massive shout out to them. Can you give them all a round of applause, please?
Okay, and the big one. We need the biggest drum roll and the biggest applause for the overall winner of the Pitch UK 2024 is Rezon.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Quite surprised. So I don't have anything prepared. But I just think, I suppose what I would say is if you're thinking in the audience and want to be doing this next year, do it. It takes time, it takes effort, but you know, honing down what you want to say into 90 seconds is pretty hard because you've heard us say lots and lots tonight. So yeah, get cracking on your 90-second pitch and see you next year.
Congratulations. I'm sure we can all agree that everybody who pitched tonight was incredible. The quality is just so high. You guys obviously put in a huge amount of work yourselves and to help them get there too. If you didn't make the final, it doesn't matter. Keep going. One of the themes at the top of the conversation was resilience, and that's really, really important. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I find myself advising other founders now, and that's fun, but you're all human, so remember to look after yourselves as well as your businesses. That's really important too. It's the fun bit now. We get to all chat to each other. Your bums are probably quite numb, I imagine. We got some drinks that were planned. We got some other drinks that weren't planned. We got some snacks. and there will be photos. So one of the things I know you're all going to want to do is you're going to want to chat to the winners and the pitchers, and that's awesome. We need to get them to do some photos, so let them do that first, and then go and have a chat with them. But thank you so much to everyone for being here. Thank you all, and thank you. Thank you for having me. I've been Ash Phillips, and this has been The Pitch. We'll see you next year. Thanks.